Hi there, and welcome to SketchPADio, Henri Matisse Digi Cutouts. To load SketchPAD, go to your browser's address bar and type sketch.io/sketchpad/. Not required, but I strongly recommend using a mouse for digital art making, as it will certainly make it easier to move around. In today's lesson, I'm going to demonstrate how to make a digital color collage in the style of Henri Matisse. Here are some samples of Henri Matisse's artwork. For today's project, make a 10-inch by 8-inch canvas. Let's go to the tool sidebar, select our tools, and choose New, which is the plus sign. In the Choose Preset size, you want to select Custom. In Units, set to inches, and here's where you enter your width. You can highlight that, enter the number 10 for our 10-inch width, and the number 8 for 8 inches of the height of our paper. Add blank and create. Now here, it's always good practice to zoom into your page so you're able to see all 4 corners before you start your artwork, so you can actually see where you're placing the elements and parts of your project. To do this, click on the tools in the sidebar, click on the zoom tool, which is a magnifying glass, and if you're using a mouse with a scrolly, you can simply scroll in and adjust your page, or if you're using the trackpad, go ahead and with your finger on the scrolly sidebar, you can make those adjustments as well, and press and drag on the trackpad to move your page. Now we're ready to make some art. First, make a background out of squares, rectangles, or a solid color. It's up to you. Now, in your sub-menu of your tools, select the Shape tool. It will be the last shape that you used. Here, it's a star. In the star menu, where it says Choose Shape, go ahead and open that, and here, you will need to select a square or a rectangle. In this case, I'm going to choose a rectangle. You would like to choose a color for your fill, and this will need to be a solid color, as Matisse used different colors of paper for his projects. So I'm going to make one giant rectangle on one side of my page and another rectangle on the other side of the page, but a different color. I'm choosing red. Now, I definitely don't want this to be outlined in any kind of color, so I'm going to make sure in this water drop it's set to 0. So now to make this other rectangle, I'm going to place my mouse in the corner of the page and drag to the opposite side. Now if you need to move any of your shapes, you can select your arrow tool and that can move your shape there. Now for the next step, you will need to select the pen tool. You will need to make sure that Paint into Layer is set to off, where it's not highlighted. What this means is whether or not you want to paint directly onto the layer you are working on, or if you want to paint on a separate layer, where you can then make any changes to that part if you need to. Here it's a good idea to paint on a separate layer, so make sure Paint into Layer is turned off, not highlighted. I don't want an outline, so I'm going to check the water drop. And for my fill, again, I want another solid color. And I'm going to choose white. Matisse worked a lot with white. So now I'm going to make one giant organic shape or freeform shape. And it's okay if you go off the page. Okay. And I want to do another layer. And if you want, you can go ahead and do some more freeform shapes around here, or yours could even be smaller. Remember, this is just a sample. So to finish this one off, I'm going to go back to my rectangle tool, select my square. I'm selecting a different color for my fill. And now I'm going to place some squares around here, like Matisse did in one of his artworks. So basically this is a replica of one of his pieces. Now, I think there's too many of these green squares on here, so I'm going to select some of them with my selection tool and maybe delete them. I select with the selection tool and click the delete key on my keyboard. I can even move some of them around. I can even make them smaller if I need to. And notice how some of the shapes are overlapping. It's a good idea to try to accomplish that as well. Here I right clicked, click copy and paste. And now I can duplicate a shape if I wanted to. Oops. Done. Now to save, click on the floppy disk export button, click on save JPEG, and now that file is automatically downloaded to your downloads folder. Be sure to locate that folder and locate the file and rename that. This file should be named using your last name, your first name, and the project name of Digi Cutout.